So we're going to do something a little unconventional. We're going to do it this way. Okay, so in answer to Leslie's question before about what the backboard here, this is maple, and you can see it's all pinned. It actually is part of the bottom framework, whereas in the top section it was just loose. It didn't even fit into the channel or dado anymore. And so, by the way, these legs start right here. It was started out as one piece of wood, about that, probably 4 or 5 inches square, and the leg goes all the way to right there. So it has all the strength, and for those who might have seen the exhibition at Historic Deerfield on wood, they made a reproduction leg just like this, put it under pressure, and the leg snapped at 1,600 pounds per square inch. So even though these legs look really delicate, they are pretty strong, especially if you follow from right down all the way through the center. It has a lot of strength. So 1,600 pounds, 3,200 pounds, times 2, 6,400 pounds. I'm not saying that, we should put 3 cars on there, but, these things are much stronger than they appear to be. They look feminine, they're pretty delicate, but they're pretty strong. So, and there you see the similar color matching the top section. And let's see. So the top is pretty simple. The bottom is more complicated structure, but you can see the cracking. And in answer to your question about the shrinkage cracks, you see the side of the bottom section are horizontal. They are pinned, mortise and tenon, male and female, into the legs. They are pinned, and it is held tight, but as the board expands and contracts, the pins are holding tight, and so the shrinkage has to go somewhere. And so what happens, it shrinks at the weak spot, generally in the center of the board. And what's really nice about this is nobody ever filled it with some kind of a filler. Sometimes, and most times we do find where people find that these cracks are unsightly. They're afraid that the board is going to give way. So they have a cabin maker make a very thin piece of wood to slip it in there as a filler. It doesn't do any strength, but it at least hides the crack. We find that 95% of the time. We don't detract for that. But this is, for somebody who really loves pure furniture of the 18th century, that Kevin's expression, beauty marks, is classic for this. I mean, that's a great crack. I love it. It seems really odd to hear that, I'm sure, but that's what we like to see.
So as we get kind of lower and lower on the piece of furniture, an important element to look at is the edge of the apron. And you want to make sure that it has a good consistent color, nice tool marks, and doesn't have any stain or anything to discolor it. And this is really shows a great purity, a little bit of graduation of color in some of these corners where the air literally doesn't quite get into the corner enough to show the same amount of oxidation as it does on the bottom. And then when you get to see the consistency and continuity between the apron, which is maple, the drawer runners, which are pine, and the drawer bottom, which is pine, and you get all that consistency working together. It's a really nice, just classic textbook feature of age and construction. One of our great topics and the underappreciated elements of originality is looking for what we lovingly call fly specks, which are fly poop, and little piles that are left by flies result in these little tiny black specks, and they have texture. They're literally little piles that are left by the fly, and they tend to congregate underneath things and in corners, and I guess flies like to have their privacy like most of us. So when you look, especially on a rather smooth surface, you can feel the texture of all those years, decades of fly specks that have accumulated.